Hey guys, this is Alex, and in this episode, Jess and I are talking about the COVID pandemic and how it affected our motivation, and we also talk about tips and tricks on how we stay motivated throughout life. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. The most important thing I think that the pandemic has taught me was that mental health is super important. When the pandemic first started, I had this I don't know if it was it wasn't depression or anything, but I just felt super sad and down because it was such a huge lifestyle shift into staying at home, not being able to see friends and family, most importantly, the holidays and stuff like that was just gone, and yeah, I know. And that whole feeling of fear of getting sick. What if I get sick? I just, you want to stay healthy, especially since it was we didn't know anything about it at the beginning. So a lot of that was just, a lot of that going on. But yeah, so I guess one thing that I really has helped me through that was just learning how to be, more mindful of my own mental health, not trying to burn out as much. So, doing things that make me happy and doing less things that make me not happy, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that everybody kind of went through is that period of uncertainty and sadness too. It was just so bizarre to a lot of people because it's nothing that, I mean, our generation has ever experienced. Maybe some older people have, but yeah, it was just crazy and not being able to, I remember the first in 2020, I think it was 2020, the first Christmas, we didn't see anybody and it was just so sad and it just didn't feel like the holidays, and it felt like that whole year just slowly dragged on, and it was just another day of the same thing. And yeah, I just remember it being so strange, not just home life, but then working. It was just so different because going from seeing your coworkers so often to seeing them over camera or not even seeing them at all. Some people don't turn on their cameras, and it was just it was very different for sure. I feel like it's been so long since the start of it. I don't really remember what it felt like, but I remember it being just depressing. I feel like that's a good way of putting it. It's just sad.
Yeah,
and scary.
I know, definitely. Were there any things that you kind of stopped doing because of the pandemic now? Some things that, maybe you lost interest in certain things?
I don't think so. I feel like if anything, the opposite. I gained more time actually because before the pandemic I commuted a lot and I spent 2 hours a day just in the car. Oh, actually that brings up a good point. I actually stopped listening to podcasts because that's when I would listen to them is in the car because I had 2 hours or audiobooks or something like that. I stopped listening to just a bunch of that stuff because I no longer needed some entertainment while I was in the car. Which I do miss, but it's really hard to work and listen to podcasts. It's just you are trying to focus on one thing and then focus on another. It's just really difficult. But I definitely feel like I gained a lot of time though, not having to commute. I can actually set my own schedule. I can wake up and then my commute is 5 seconds long now. And so I just hop online and start working, and then I can get off so much earlier and actually do stuff while the sun is up. So that's been really nice, and actually having a set routine in a way and more flexibility. So that's been really nice.
Nice. What is one thing that you've tried doing during the pandemic? What's one thing new that you've done with all this time? And that has now still persisted till this very day. It's been 2 years now, so.
I feel so going on walks, actually. I mean, we got our dog during the pandemic, too, the start of the pandemic. And right when we got her, she was still a baby, and that was when, COVID just recently shut everything down. And so I think the only thing that, let us stay sane was, taking her on walks and stuff and playing with her. So I guess, just moving our bodies and going out to walks. That's about it that I can think of.
Yeah.
How about
you? Okay, so I tried gardening.
Oh, yeah.
For the first 2 months in 2021. I tried doing it for a couple months, and then I think we went up to your house, and then I had no way. I could not figure out how to or I just didn't figure out a way to water the plant, and so they just started dying. And then when they started dying, like, cause I had a pretty good crop too, cause it was like starting to like sprout and like grow and everything. And when they started dying, I just my motivation started dying with it. And then I'm just standing out the window every day, just looking at it, turning brown. All the leaves are just going brown and yellow, and I'm like, this really sucks. I hate gardening. This is terrible. So I never gardened again.
Really?
Yeah, I want to though. I want to, because I still have a lot of seeds. I still have a lot of seeds that I never used, and like, I still have the planter boxes. I still have soil. I have all my gardening tools. So maybe we'll see, because like it's starting to become springtime again soon, hopefully. And so that's like the best times to like grow some of the vegetables that I have and the fruits that I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe we'll see. We'll see.
A life hack that I thought of actually is because I went through that same thing. So if you buy like, because we have fruit trees too, and we actually got some fruit from them, but it's only because we bought them and they had some fruit on them, and so it made it seem like you grew something, because you did. It was like barely there, and we got fruit from it. That was really exciting. So you could start with that and see if that makes you feel better. Because it's so disheartening when nothing grows and it just dies, because that happened to me too with a different like lemon tree, and it was just a waste of money.
I know, it's so much, all of your time, like all that time spent like trimming and pruning and like watering and like making sure it stayed alive and everything. Yeah A lot of time and energy.
I mean, hey, never say never. You should try again. It's actually really fun. Like when you actually get to harvest what you grow, it's like all that time and spent just taking care of it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. I remember when we were younger too, we like grew tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and then corn.
I know.
That was really funny. Yeah, that's really funny. The corn I literally got from like a science class. Like we were messing around with like corn, experimenting with corn one day, and I just took some of the seeds home, like the kernels home, and just like planted them. That's how it came to be. Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either. I was just messing around and having fun. Like I just thought it was gonna be like, oh, there's nothing gonna happen. So I just planted like 4 kernels in the soil, and then like it started growing. I'm like, what? That's crazy. What?
That's so cool. Maybe I'll try that. Did it actually like grow into full-on corn? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was smaller though, so it's not like the ones you see like at the grocery stores. But it was like smaller. It was maybe like 3/4 as small as like normal corn that you'll see at the grocery store. Did it taste good? I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I don't think
Not
so.
worth it?
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, is it worth it? Probably if you want to get into like gardening and stuff like that. But like I don't know. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. And also maybe it was because it was yellow corn too. It wasn't like white corn. The sweet white corn.
Ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was funny though. Yeah.
Have you done any other hobbies since the pandemic started? I feel like it's...
I tried working out like consistently, and that has always been like one like pain sticking point for me. That has never happened ever for me. So like I try to like stick to like a workout routine and schedule and stuff like that, but it's super hard. And but one thing that I've done like recently though, like because I've been working out a lot more like on schedule and stuff like that. And what's been motivating me a lot recently is one, I've been watching a lot of like TikToks on gym and stuff like that, and like working out and stuff and movements and all that kind of stuff. And that has really like watching them, like other people work out and teaching you how to like, what's the most like best way to increase your gains and stuff like that is really like, I don't know, to me it's really motivating for some reason, you know. But also I've gotten like new weights, so like dumbbells. I used to have like dumbbells that were plastic, and you would slot it on and then you screw it onto the ends of the dumbbell, right? And so the plastic started like the handles in the middle, the plastic thing where you grip it, started deforming and started like compressing because I'm like twisting the ends, right? And screwing it on, and so like it started like going like this, getting squished and squished. So I had like
no.
3 fingers worth of space to hold on to the dumbbell, and it hurt so bad to work out with it. And so I just said, screw it. I'm just gonna get like actual dumbbells that have like the you can change the weight and stuff like that. And so we just got that, and I've been super pumped to use it every single time. I'm like, every single time I get in the gym, like I have to use the money's worth of using it. You know, I get my money's worth for the dumbbells and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a cute workout fit that motivates you.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like new gear and everything. It's always fun to like get new things, and then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna use it. You know, like it feels good because like you have like quality stuff that you're working with, and I don't know. For me, that's just super motivating.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like that's with a lot of new stuff. You get that like endorphin kick of like, ooh, I get to use like that new bag or wear that new outfit or something, you know, and it makes you want to do not even just working out, but like maybe you want to wear your new outfit to like go do stuff, you know, and that motivates you to get out of the house, like stuff like that too. The thing that I've also been struggling with too, because I've done that in the past where I, don't have a consistent workout schedule. The thing that I've been trying actually is I have a calendar, like a habit tracker type of thing. And so every time I'm done working out, I actually like mark it, and it's like a physical thing that I do. And it makes you feel like, oh, wow, like I actually accomplished something. And then like having it as like a calendar spread, you can see like, oh, wow, I like did so many days consecutively, or wow, I did like how many days in a month. Like it's just really cool to see. I know it's the same thing as like on your watch, but I feel like your watch, you really have to like dig into your phone and like look up everything. Whereas what I've done is I've taped it to like where I leave the gym. And so I can see it physically like every time. And so I'm like, okay, tomorrow I also want to continue the streak that I've been working towards. And I feel like that's the one thing about motivation is like you have to make it easy for yourself. You know, like motivation doesn't always come. It's like sometimes you really just have to push yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna just do this and don't think twice about it, because then you'll lose that motivation, right? And I think you just got to make it easy for yourself. So like making it in plain sight and making sure that you don't miss it, or like you don't get a chance to say like, oh, I'll just do it later type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point, because like removing any sort of like barriers for yourself to do something is so important. Like I hate making YouTube videos because it just takes so long to get everything done, right? So it takes so long to set up with the audio, the camera, the lighting and stuff like that, and then you also have to write the script. For me at least, I have to write a script, and then I have to film it and then edit it, and then it goes onto YouTube and stuff like that. So, and then I have to also spend time optimizing it for SEO and stuff like that. So there's so many steps involved in making a YouTube video. And it takes so long. I just hate doing it just because it takes so long for me. Versus TikTok, versus like having it super easy for me to create, because everything's within one app. The camera is in there, the editing system is already in place in the app itself. So then I can just film myself talking and doing stuff, and then I can just edit straight from my phone. And so it makes it so much easier to just like create videos and stuff like that. Versus like for YouTube or even for Instagram, it takes so much more effort for me to like get stuff on those platforms, because there's so many barriers for me to like lose my motivation and lose my interest in doing it, unless I'm like super like interested in like talking about like the topic, or I mean I am, but like it's just, I don't know, there's just so many like barriers for me posting on YouTube and Instagram.
You bring up a good point, because I have a question is like for this generation, because of like platforms like TikTok or like the Instagram Reels, where it's like so instant, I feel like it caters to people's attention span and their motivation, right? Like people want things quick, fast, easy, like as soon as you can. Like they don't want to wait and work for things. Do you feel like things like that have, or like people's motivation, and that's kind of why, because that mindset is very apparent, or more apparent, I guess, nowadays?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like that definitely plays into like the mindset of having to have instant gratification. And at the same time, especially for like stuff like business and stuff like that, and career and stuff like that, like life is just a long game in general. And so like instant gratification, it's kind of counterintuitive to that. And sometimes it just makes us like lose motivation to do stuff and like lose interest in a lot of things.
It's very interesting. I feel like with all of that technology, it's very hard to get motivated because if you don't see results, you know, in a week, maybe even 2 weeks, you're kind of like, what's the point, you know? And I think that's like right when you should keep going is like when you feel like you shouldn't, you should just keep going because the results will end up coming. And it's easier said than done for sure. But
yeah, that's exactly the same mindset that I had for TikTok, for growing my account. Because like I started and tried to do it in like 2020, at like the tail end of 2020, and I posted like a couple videos, and then they like instantly went viral because I was following like a trend or something at the time, and that instantly got like 200,000 views or something, and I was like, wow, that's insane. And so like, and then I posted like a couple other videos, and then they were like, okay, you know, they had like a couple hundred views, and so that's like a huge drop off and a huge difference. And so at that time I was like, oh god, this is terrible. This is just not fun at all. And so like, and like I know it's not about the views or anything like that, and it's like about so many other things as to like why your video doesn't do well, but like that definitely did play a factor into like my mindset, you know, my motivation into like trying to continue doing TikTok. And then I was filming it on my camera, setting up my lights and stuff like that, and then having to edit it on my computer, and that just took forever. And then I hated doing that because I did it for a month or a month or two straight, and then I just found it too time consuming to do. It just took like hours and hours and hours just to do like a couple of videos, and it just wasn't, to me, it just wasn't worth it. And so like I gave up after like a couple months or something. But then at the start of this year, I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to record everything onto my phone and edit everything onto my phone because I see everyone doing that anyways. So I tried it, and it's like, it's been so much easier. I can post like 4 or 5 different videos a day versus like 1 or 2 from before. And it's like, and now I've been doing it for like, almost 3 months now, pretty much 3 months. I'm on my 3rd month.
Nice.
That was the goal that I had, was to like try to do it pretty much every single day for this whole year and see what happens. Yeah. So
I mean, that's a very good example of like consistency. And then like, it's not that you weren't motivated to do it, you just made it really hard for yourself, right? And like once you took out that barrier, you're able to be consistent and stay motivated. And I think that's a very good example. I think that can be applied everywhere, and just like making sure if there's things that you can like eliminate that are making what you want as a goal harder to achieve, then eliminate that thing if you can, obviously, which you did, which is awesome. And I'm sure like once you keep at it with any goal, that it's just gonna flourish and become something that you didn't even think would happen. Exactly.
Removing as much barriers and making it as easy as possible for yourself to accomplish your goals. And that's like the best way to like, you know, stick through it, through like the periods of time where you don't have any motivation. Just making it easy for yourself. Don't think too much. Don't overthink it, I guess. Don't overthink too much about like, if we're going to be doing it right or whatever. As long as you're doing something, and as long as you're taking baby steps to accomplish and to achieve your goals, you know, that's good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think adding on to that, like making it so easy for you that you want to continue doing it every day, right? Like do as much as you can and just do it consistently. And I think over time, things will just fall into place, and you'll kind of be like, oh, wow, like I can't believe, you know, it's been 20 days since I first started this, and I can't believe where I am now. Like it definitely takes a while for you to see results. And I think being patient with yourself too through all of that is important, because results for things that are worth it don't come easy. So.
Exactly. Like baby steps too. Like baby steps, have like a big overarching goal in mind, but then like take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Like you don't have to accomplish everything in 1 month. You don't have to accomplish everything in a week. You know, like baby steps is like the name of the game. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed what we talked about in this episode. If you want more content from us, make sure to follow us on our social media channels. We'll have links in our bio or description. Have a great day.